I'd like to call the December 14th, 2022 meeting of the Ogden Town Board to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd ask that you remain standing for a moment of silent reflection and prayer for our military servicemen and women serving around the world, as well as for our first responders. Thank you. I'd like to welcome you all for being here. Nice to see so many people in attendance, especially, certainly an awful lot from OPD, but from various agencies as well. And without further ado, I think we'll get right into our presentations here. So, Chief Gray, if you wouldn't mind joining me up here. Just very quickly, it was kind of decided that once we sort of got all the pieces in place that we would hold a real big celebration for our new chief, our new sergeant, and our new officer as well. And so that's kind of why we've all been invited here. Plus, we didn't want to ask you to give up 3 separate nights. So thank you for coming to this one for us. So, all right, Chief, place your repeat after me. I, Travis Gray, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of New York, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of Ogden Police Chief according to my best abilities. So help me God. Chief, anything you want to say? Yeah.
I'll be real quick because I know everybody's time is valuable and I have a sore throat. So I just want to say thank you to everybody that took the time to come here tonight. A shout out to my wife Lisa for making this all possible. And after her, my family, and after that, everybody else that works for this town and the town police department. A lot of great people have come before me, and I'm very humbled and honored to be here. I hope to do the best I can for everybody. And a long time ago, Chief Nordquist told me when my son was born that this place is like a big family. And ever since that day, and how he and Marcia Davis treated me when he was born, I've never forgotten. So going forward, I just want everybody to know that this is still a big family, and I'm here for you guys. So thank you.
That badge looks good on you.
Congratulations.
Very good. I'd like to call up Chad Richards. And any family members that want to come in and support you. Absolutely.
Not tall enough. We'll figure it out. We'll do our best.
Here you go. You stand over here. I know we've kind of already done this once, but we're really fortunate to have grabbed Sergeant Richards, Army vet, who's got a tremendous amount of experience, and there's a whole series of things that I know that Chief wants to bring to this department, and a lot of that has to do with the pieces being in the right place, and Chad certainly helps us with that, and has helped us with that in his time here, but certainly now in this position as well. So we're really grateful to have you. We're really fortunate to have your skill set and also your leadership as well, Chad. So without further ado, and place your left hand on the Bible. Right hand up, repeat after me. I, Chad Richards, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of New York, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of sergeant according to my best abilities. So help me God. Congratulations.
Remember, Chad's got a pin.
I gotta figure this out, this thing is really.
If it gets stuck, just pound it with a fist.
Come on. No, we'll just do that. There you go.
I really don't have anything much to say, follow his footsteps, but I'm just happy to be here. I'm glad that he has faith in me, I'm glad everybody else has faith in me, I'm just looking forward to it. I love it here so far. It's been a fun, wild 3 years, almost 4. Just looking forward to the rest of it. So, yeah.
Very good. All right.
Congratulations, sir. Congrats.
While we're kind of transitioning here, I want to take a second and welcome Chief Norquist. Good to see you. Chief Mears. Thank you guys for being here. Suzuki from Rockport PD. Got Captain Riley here from the State Police. Thank you for being here, sir. Captain Bancroft from the Sheriff's Office. And then Chief Barnes from Fairport. Welcome. So we have to actually do a formal process to approve of the hiring of our next person before we swear in. So apologize for this quick little formal thing that needs to be done. Okay, I would like to make a motion to pull Resolution 315 out of order.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Madam Clerk, would you mind reading Resolution 315?
Resolution 315, appointing Mark Lawrence to the contingent position of full-time police officer with the Town of Ogden Police Department effective December 14th, 2022.
I'll move that.
I'll second.
Moved by Councilman Gerbino, seconded by Councilman Hinman. Any discussion on this item? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Congratulations. Mark the lesson down and bring anybody that you want to bring with you.
Incognito.
Left hand on the Bible. I should have to put a little bit so everybody can see you. Repeat after me. I, Mark Lawrence,
I, Mark Lawrence,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of Ogden Police Officer
the duties of Ogden Police Officer
according to my best abilities.
according to my best abilities,
So help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations. Well, we're really good at officers from outside the county, don't worry. And again, we're really fortunate to have, well, first of all, we're really fortunate to have a police department that's so well connected, that
Yes.
works really well with other departments, maintains their relationships year after year after year, in order to make sure that we have a quality pool that we can have lateral transfers from. And when you read this guy's resume, I mean, it's unbelievable. We're really fortunate to have you, and thank you for being here. And, you know, obviously anything you'd like to say.
Just want to thank everyone for giving me the opportunity to come work here. Chad or Sergeant Richards and I have been friends for a long time, and he constantly calling me, trying to get me to come out here, and the timing just fell into place perfectly. So I just want to thank everybody, and I look forward to working with everyone. Thank you.
Good team.
Councilman, anybody up on the dais, if you want to come down, just take a quick photo with everybody.
Okay, on count of three, 1, 2, 3. One more, just in case. 1, 2, and 3. Beautiful.
Thank you all for coming. We are going to conduct the rest of our business. Feel free to grab refreshments and cake next door. Courtroom. Come on, Foster. Thank you so much for being here. Feel free to stay if you don't like cake.
Yes.
That was just a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot to. Hey, Judge. Good to see you, Judge.
Good to see you.
Hey, Judge.
Your Honor. All right. Good to see you. How are you? Hi, Chief. How are you? Good to see you.
You know, that facial hair throws me off a little bit.
Okay.
I always said if you had the fire department and the police department in your favor, you generally could be elected.
So he's contracted out, so the town is liable for the
Well, that's a nice picture.
Yeah, it's great.
We
I
have
love
to pay
that.
prevailing wage, no matter what it is. We have to pay prevailing wage. What is prevailing wage, I'm sure.
Hey, B.
That's why my son still gets checks from us, because they're in charge of prevailing wage. When they get audited, he's got to pay them. Yeah, but we're awarded a bid to Elton. We're not awarded a bid to the contract. We're awarded a bid to a contractor, he's subcontracting out. Someone's got to pay prevailing wage.
You know, it's funny when they changed the regulations so that facial hair is okay.
Yeah.
It was like
guys somehow felt like they were relieved of that. You know, everybody wanted to grow a mustache or a beard or something.
Well, it's like the fire department, we're allowed to have
Stop over to see your dad,
mustache.
you know.
You can't have a beard. Did you tell you?
Well, that's because of the
mask.
Yeah.
Sunday, before he came to visit you, I think.
It's actual respect.
Well, his plans that he submitted.
Hey, Dan,
Call him Scarface.
the disposition of the property,
Well, yeah, I didn't draw the resolution. What I normally ask, put in the resolution, is private or public sale. So,
His father, well, for all of us in town.
what I was, ironically, was reading up, when Kodak used to allow,
Oh, that's great. Yeah, it's good stuff.
and then the military.
You brought the party with you.
It was prerequisite that once they had it, they could not, even if it was outdated and of no value, they couldn't even give it to whoever.
See it.
They had to destroy it or dump it. And so much quality stuff by functioning standards had to be destroyed and going. And I was wondering if we were bound by the same, because I don't care if we give it away, as long as it gets used, if it's functional. It's kind of my mentality on it. I mean, if we can make money because we pay for it, yes, but,
yeah, no, sometimes when you got 2 or 3 items, they say, well, it's in the highway, and let them put bids in an envelope, or whoever wants it.
regardless of the.
Okay.
Nice job.
Wait a minute. I thought we had a lot of fans
No one
tonight.
wants to be here. I'd like to take a second to recognize the village highway superintendent. Is it Tom West? Is it Joe Beretta? But Tom West, who is here in his last, how many weeks you got here, Tom?
Until January 19th.
19th. And of course, congratulations again to Joe Beretta, who's fulfilling that role on January 20th? Did you say the 19th? Yeah, there you go. Thanks for being here, guys. All right, let's pick back up with the approval of the minutes, Resolution 312.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Tom, seconded by Councilman Gerbino. Any discussion on this? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye opposed. Item carries. Privilege of the floor. Is there anybody here that wishes to address the board at this time? Mr. West, come on forward. State your name and your address, please.
My name's Tom West. I live at 38 Orchid, Greece, New York. Been a resident of the Village of Spenceport since I was a little kid. I just want to thank the board and past boards for helping the village. And I'm here for 2 reasons, actually. One is for myself. I want to thank you guys. And I also want to thank Dan for changing things. Our relationships are way better. They were good when Dave Widger was here, but it's fantastic now. Like I've said before, working together is the best way to do it. It saves everybody money, it saves all the taxpayers money. But over the years, you guys have done a lot for us in the village. You've done a lot for me in the village. I actually thought it was a parking ticket from Chief Norquist. I didn't pay it, that's why they're all here. But I've worked with many chiefs. I've worked with Ed Marinetti, Dave Widger, now Dan. It's been a privilege. I've had support from you guys. No matter what boards have had differences, we've always worked together. And with the intermunicipal agreements now, everything works out fantastic. And Dan, thank you again. Also, I'm here for the Superintendent's Association. I will be president for the New York Village, Western New York Village Superintendent's Association for another year. It's kind of tough, as you know, trying to get people. We do love the support that you give us for letting us use the DPW, or Dan letting us use the DPW. The support is fantastic. If it weren't for Dan and
It's okay, we're just recording it.
I'm almost gonna sweat. If it weren't for Dan, we wouldn't have our association. We would be at McDonald's meeting and oh, God, that kill me, I apologize. But, no, thank you, Dan. I went to Dan, we got turned away from Tech Park. We've been at Tech Park a couple times, then we went to the Dome, then we went back to Tech Park, and then the way it works there, make a long story short, is if they get a contract there, the camper show, our show gets canceled, so whether we got a contract or not, so, I just wanna state that it's a very important, association, just like the town association is, and we also work, great together, like I said, at the town association on Tuesday. When I started 26 years ago as superintendent, the towns hated the villages. There was no friendships, I guess you could say. For some reason, it was old school, and we were nothing, and now we are all a team, and it's great. I'm very close with the Town Superintendent's Association, not just because I'm president, but so are the villages, all together. We look at all as one now. So, again, I just want to thank you guys. Dan, I just got a question for you really quick, if you don't mind.
Sure, no.
On the
No, Dan.
resolution,
No, Dan.
then when we get the billing from Monday to Wednesday, does that mean that the association owns the DPW?
Yeah.
Is that-
You can't take anything out.
No, it's all empty, but we own it, but we tell the superintendent what to do, correct?
I think it's
Good
just
luck.
that you're a guest. You're a guest.
No, I appreciate it. Again, thank you guys. It means a lot to us to continue this. I'm gonna try to continue the Superintendent's Association. We will continue. Forward, and again, it's something that we all need to do together, and like I said, if it weren't for you guys, we probably wouldn't be here right now, so. It takes Dan and also the board, so, thank you very much.
Tom, how long have you been in the village DPW?
I've been at the village for almost 35 years.
Wow.
26 years as superintendent, and I became superintendent, it was October of '97.
Wow.
So.
Thank you
It's
for
been a
everything
long
you've done.
time.
Yes, thank
Really appreciate it, Tom.
Thanks, Tom.
Seems
hear
like-
that, Beretta?
Seems like just yesterday.
I just want to thank you, appreciate it.
Tommy, it's been a pleasure working with you, and,
Thank
like
you.
we found out, last Saturday night, we had a problem in the village, with a sewer problem, and we had guys in and, took care of a problem for the sewer with the village, so it's been great working with you, and I look forward to working with Joe, and I think we'll do real well.
Yes, and again, with Joe Beretta, the previous person that took my, job had some personal, things they had to take care of. Great guy, still works for the village. Maybe down the road, when, Joe retires, he can move right into that spot. Good guy, but I think Joe's a perfect fit. So, again, we gotta continue the working together in the intermunicipal agreements.
You got it.
Do you hear that, Joe? 35 years, you can retire.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tom.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you, Tom.
Thanks, Tommy.
Thanks, Tommy.
I've had enough with board meetings, I got one more to go, and I love you guys, but
See you later.
Just remember, Mr. Shumpole, you're not in
yeah,
charge.
no.
Sure.
I'm nothing, just so you know, for the Dan, but I appreciate it. Yeah, Sarah says I'm a bad boy.
Very good. Is there anybody else that wishes to address the board at this time? Seeing none, we will close the privilege of the floor. Next is reports and remittances from town officers. Resolution 313.
So moved?
Second.
Moved by Councilman Tom, seconded by Councilman Gerbino. Any discussion on this? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Town audits, Resolution 314.
So moved?
Moved by Councilman Toms,
I'll second it.
seconded by Councilman Hinman. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item carries. No correspondence. I will blast through these. Thanks for coming, guys.
Thank you. Good night.
As you can see from the size of this packet, there's actually been a lot going on in the background. And so for Noel's sake, I will just bullet point these things and not a ton of conjecture. I want to thank everybody so much for coming out to the tree lighting ceremony. I thought that was really special. And we know to be prepared with way more hot chocolate. Gave out 100 cups. Phil said there were 30 more in line, and I guarantee there was equally 30 that didn't have any in the first place. So great conversations with Andrea and some other people on how to make it an even bigger event next year. So I'll look for all of you guys to help in that planning, because it's going to be really good. I met yesterday with the CEO of RG&E, myself and a bunch of supervisors. They've certainly been in the crosshairs in the media lately for good reason. Without going too crazy into that, one of the big things that's going to start next year is they're going to start installing, new smart meters. They're called AMI, Advanced Metering Infrastructure. Our area is set to switch out these smart meters between January 23 and December 25. 40% of their customers have meters inside, so they can't just swap them out. They got to get permission to go inside, and there's certainly an opt-out, and I'm guaranteeing that we'll get several calls on this. But this is their attempt to try to attack it. We will get a much smaller window as time goes on as to when they will hit the town of Ogden. A lot of information in this packet if you'd like to take a look at it, but they didn't go in homes over the last couple of years because of COVID. Staffing challenges for outside reads as well has plagued them, and they've got much newer staff that are handling much more calls, and so switching to a metering system where you don't have to have somebody walking door to door is going to be advantageous. It's also helpful that they will be able to show outages where people don't have to call in and tell them that there are outages. The meters will read that way and provide more accurate depiction of where the outages are and potentially why those outages are happening. So,
Like, are these new meters or
Yes.
meter
Oh, yeah.
attachments?
Brand new meters.
The actual new meters?
yeah, which is why on the outside it's not a big deal, but when they say 40%, now that 40% is for an entire region. That could be a lot of older homes in other locations.
Will they be attempting to put the ones in the houses,
Yes.
get them to go outside if they can?
There is some of that.
Does it not matter?
Nope, there's some of that where they may try to bring it outside, but some of them they won't be able to. And some people won't want them to, so.
Interesting.
And there's actually an upcharge for opting out. They're gonna charge them.
Of course.
Well, let's twist the arm.
Yeah, more on this if anybody cares to study up on it. But I also have to say, we've got a liaison with RG&E that answers the phone every single time I call. She's helped us on a lot of projects. Very thrilled with her. We'll see how the bigger entity does. Great school board or school meeting with the superintendent and police chief regarding the DARE program. Essentially, we're asking them to help pay for it so that we can find quality people to be in that program. I attended the Fall Athlete Recognition Night at the school board meeting. A large number of Section 5 winners out of our school district. That was incredible. We also a group of us met with Integrated to discuss the camera system and asking them to do a full audit of the capabilities of our cameras, the systems, and looking at ways to make this system function a lot better for our purposes and our needs, including recording playback. So there's been so many hands in that pie, and I think it's just time that we put together a full system plan and a policy that goes with it as well. We attended, Noel and I attended the first Chamber of Commerce Board meeting in several years, trying to bring that back, and certainly will give you more information as that continues to grow. For sure, getting many things together already for the organizational meeting that is in January. The date of the organizational meeting will be January 3rd. It is a Tuesday. And we'll get you details on that pretty soon. Very last, you may have heard, but I don't know why you would, because there hasn't been a resignation or anything like that, but in part of the process of the organizational meeting is going through the list of all the support boards and just seeing if they would like to continue. We do have one zoning board member that has indicated that they will not seek a new term. So we, a while ago, maybe a month ago, preemptively put out a new round of applications and things of that nature. Certainly looking at some of the old ones that we had, and there were 4 very qualified individuals that applied. There are 2 of those members that our subcommittee had indicated would do a great job, and we'll have a decision for that shortly. If this body would like to have that conversation after this meeting in executive session, I would be happy to do so and share the resumes with you so that at the organizational meeting, you feel confident with who that person is. So just let me know. I'd be happy to take 5 minutes to show you. I have their resumes with me. And I'll tell you what the outcome was of who responded from the committee on what they think about that person. So that is it for me. Councilman Baker.
No report.
Councilman Gerbino.
I had the pleasure of meeting Valerie Collins, which is our senior nutrition coordinator for the senior services. And I had been doing some background. I spoke with the Gates Recreation Director who manages their senior services, the Town of Chili Recreation Director. And the reason I spoke to them, I have a relationship with them prior to coming here, and their process and their system is, their system's on steroids based on the new buildings, the implementation of different logistics to facilitate their needs. And I feel as though we're kind of in the starting stages of moving forward with our senior services program. And the town infrastructure and everything else will have an impact on what, how, and where that comes to be. Valerie was wonderfully to speak with. I got a tour of the facility. She was implementing one of the programs with some of the residents, or some of the seniors that were there for the day. And I'm looking very much forward to dealing with her and Andrea to whatever extent she'll be in that piece also moving forward from the liaison perspective. So.
Did you get roped into euchre at all?
I can't afford to go there. It brings back memories from my youth.
That's great. That's a good time. Councilman Hinman.
My dad always blamed euchre on why I failed out of Gannon University. Nothing really other than just to say I enjoyed, took part in the interviews with Supervisor Zell there, with seeing all the people that we were interviewing for the open position there on the Zoning Board of Appeals. So I'm interested in seeing how what everyone thinks when they look at the candidates and see what we end up deciding on stuff. So, but that's it.
Good. Councilman Toms.
Yeah, as you mentioned, we met as a committee for ARPA, went through a bunch of the stuff that's in the resolution here tonight. Also had the opportunity, I visited Josh Jensen's open house here in the library. There were only 4 people that came through, 2 couples actually. Ernie and Cindy Daubert was one couple that came through. Several things that they talked to Josh about, but one comment that they made to me as they left was, thanks for the leaf pickup. So I wanted to pass that on to Dan for a little feather in your cap there for that. So it is something I hear quite often that people really enjoy, see as a valuable service to them, and any further ideas you have for that, I'd appreciate hearing myself. And the other couple was Frank and Karen Rakowski that also had some thoughts while they were there. That's it for me.
That's a nice way to put it.
I'll jump back in. I had two couples as well, that, elderly couples that were very thankful for the leaf pickup. So they wanted me to specifically to tell you that, so
Excellent.
they really appreciated that, so.
All right, very good. Dan Wolf.
A couple things. For you who don't know, the town of Camden, up north, over the weekend had a total loss of their whole highway department and equipment and everything. We have some equipment like a Bobcat that, I would like to, not donate to them, put on use to them. We might have a plow truck. I haven't talked with, my guys yet, but I might have a plow truck that, to help them out until they get back on their feet, some type of equipment. The highway associations have, put it out on Facebook for if any highways can offer them some type of equipment, cause they've lost, everything, kinda like Araniquite happened to them a few years ago. So if I was to send it up, it'd be just, it'd be on loan to them and we would get it back. And when we got it back, we would send the stuff to auction. It's, like a 10-wheeler that we're sending to auction when we get our new ones in, but we'd be shy of a truck this year, but it'd be a spare. It'd help them out if we can do that, and, maybe a Bobcat and stuff that, if it's something they can use. I'm gonna reach out to him tomorrow and talk to him and see what he has, what he needs to, if we can help him anyway, I'd like to try to help him out.
What's the mechanism for that? Just like an IMA or something, or what?
Yeah, it's the same thing when we had to borrow a truck from Greece, cause we were short a truck, Greece, loaned us a truck for 8 months till they got their trucks back up.
But do they need an agreement, an intermunicipal agreement for that, or no?
Well,
That's what
yeah,
Aaron's asking.
I mean, right now, the truck has a plate on it and is insured through the town. And we'd wanna make sure that they at least have insurance on it.
Right.
And be responsible. Yeah, we should have something, if you do it, we should have something in the organizational meeting or shortly thereafter that approves a short intermunicipal agreement.
I mean, if it happens, I don't know, there's a lot
Yeah.
of small towns up there that might be able to help them out, equipment wise, but, being the size of the town that we have, we just purchased a new Bobcat last year that we're sending ours to auction, so, it's in the shop, our new ones are in the shop, but, if we could do that, maybe help them out, and if it does reach out that it's gonna happen that way, then I would talk to Dan about it and see what we have to do between, to loan a truck to them and, or piece of equipment.
Sure.
I'm not sure it's gonna happen, but I think it'd be a good, gesture on us to
You
offer
might be
that.
surprised at how many people in your.
That's what happened up, in Buffalo last year when they burned their highway to Grash, so. And the other thing is, there's a lot of talk on the, firehouse at Station 3. We talked about it, probably when you talked with Stowe about it, we made an agreement with, Spencerport Fire District, a municipal agreement. We're doing the water line up there right now. We tapped the water line today. We put in 120 feet of water line. Our guys are doing it. And when I pitched this sale to the town board a year ago or so, it was pitched to the fact that we would train on doing this water line, cause it has 5 hydrants involved in it. A lot of 22s and, different angles involved in the hydrant, and if we were capable of doing it, we would take on small jumps in the town. For instance, I'm not gonna mention it because it's on live, but, there was a couple spots that came to us that had water problems, where we could put in the water, possibly put in a water line for these families and give them water lines where, maybe 2,000 feet away from getting a service, and it would be cheaper, in my opinion, for the town to do it than putting out the bid and letting it all. I'm not sure how much is involved in it per Dan. I'd have to find out from you, but, something we'd be able to help our residents out. We're doing very well at putting the water line in. I'm very pleased with the guys. We are going through bedrock, which is a lot in this town that we have to do it under. So if we can conquer that up there, I would say that my guys would be able to, conquer anything that, they would give to them for, water lines. And we're getting also help from, Andrew Berry on Whittier Road. He's overseeing the operation, telling us what we're doing wrong or what we're doing right, and showing us what's gotta be done, so thanks to them for giving us a hand on that. But that's it. Any questions on that? There's been some talk about it, and I think it's coming up, tonight for their training facility.
Yeah, so to articulate that, the fire department wants to build a training facility right by their Station 3. And some of the work for the highway department is currently doing. And people have called and asked what's going on there. And actually, Commissioner Munez came and saw me, and we had this conversation, and said that there was an agreement in place, just basically like walked through the whole process. This was actually signed in August of 2021, which is probably why that might not sound super familiar to anybody here. But, you know, Dan, when we were talking about those residents that wanted a water study, this is what Dan was talking about. So it kind of just all happened because it was the right timing. Great for the highway guys because there's no snow and there's not a lot of those other things, so great time for training. But just to clarify, I don't know if anybody's heard anything, but certainly we got calls, and very quickly that same day we're able to go to everybody and say, no, we have an agreement. The highway department is going to charge the fire department for the services, and everything's good. The great thing is similar to us working with the village. This is us working with another tax collecting entity for the benefit of the whole town. So I know that this board supports that kind of thing. It sort of all happened at the same time, and
A lot of it's got also with, with the fire district that went through some, battles yesterday through their voting. If you looked at some of the salaries that came out for these career firefighters, it was substantial. And if we could buy 10 years by putting a training facility in for the fire district and help them out and cut our tax in the town for them to, train on that and have their own, way to go up there and train when they want it. You know, if it was tonight or tomorrow night or something, they want to go up there and do training revolutions, they don't have to wait for the county to get a building. So, to me, it's a win-win situation for the county, or for the fire district. It's a win-win situation for the town, and people helping us on the outside. It's a win-win situation for them because they're also donating some of their time and their experience, and knowledge of what we're doing. So, it's working out pretty well. I'll just wait when we turn the water on, it comes out the right holes.
turns out we might have a new splash pad.
Could be a huge one.
Thank you, Dan. Noel.
I just wanna say I was honored to, be at our tree lighting ceremony. It was a lot of fun. I appreciate it. Thanks for lighting that tree. Tony was right here. And I did attend the, Spencerport Chamber of Commerce. I was appointed secretary.
Plenty of time.
They take talent when they can find it.
Oh, goodness.
So we had a town clerk's meeting, last week also. We are being told that the tax bills will be in the mail on December 30th, 2022.
I'm sorry that I keep chiming in here. I did have a conversation also with the school district about potentially partnering with them in an IMA for mail services. I've talked about this before. We lost our mail courier, and we're trying to find a solution to that now that stamps are 60 cents.
One up to 63 cents.
Dear Lord. So we're just,
Okay, thank you.
anytime we can do intermunicipal agreements. Mr. Shum.
Finishing up, trying to get the sewer lines dedicated. I see they had the markers along the path, installed. I know they're anxious to get their letters of credit released, and we're anxious to get their bond and also the dedication papers. So I followed up with some correspondence to the developer, middle of last week. I haven't had any response. Hopefully they'll do that shortly. Dealt with Andrea. There's a resolution in here tonight to extend the cleaning services contract for 3 years for the rec department. Had a discussion with the supervisor and others. It seems as though we have, I think, 3 different cleaning services servicing various parts of the town. There's people who like the service they have and don't like the service that might be offered by others. But I think that's a matter for the future. And again, the fire district resolution this evening is to hold a public hearing. Under our town code, it's sort of funny. When you have a governmental entity, and it actually references school districts, fire districts, whatever, the process to use residential property for governmental purposes is a special use permit from the town board. Separately and apart, they have to apply to the planning board and maybe the zoning board, I don't know, for site plan approval. And actually a special use permit from them, I don't think is needed necessarily a duplicate, but it's an odd circumstance that our code has. And that's it.
Very good.
I did have one last thing. I totally slipped my mind when we started talking about fire departments and things. The governor did sign the bill that was sponsored in the Assembly and the Senate that makes volunteer firefighters and EMS workers eligible for a 10% tax, property tax reduction. However, there has to be opt-in from each individual municipality for those members where they reside. So Town of Ogden would have to sign off on that. The Village of Spencerport would have to sign off on it. The Spencerport School District would have to sign off on it. The county legislature did sign off on it last December, and it carried over into this year. So the county legislature did pass a resolution opting into that, but it's like anything in Albany that gets passed, you gotta read the fine print, so. But it is something for volunteer firefighters and EMS workers. It was co-sponsored by State Senator Pam Helming. Her new district lines will be heading over west. Doesn't quite hit Ogden, it'll be Chili, but she was a co-sponsor of that bill, so.
Thank you. Okay, let's move to new business. Madam Clerk, starting with Resolution 316.
Resolution 316, authorizing the Ogden Town Supervisor Mike Sale to execute a certain instrument revoking the covenant concerning 1175 Ogden Carmel Town Line Road, which restricts the use in form and substance as approved by the town attorney.
I'll move that.
So second.
Moved by Councilman Gerbino, seconded by Councilman Toms. Any discussion on this? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next item, please.
Resolution 317, authorizing a budget adjustment for purchase of a heat pump for the recreation multipurpose room.
So moved.
I'll second.
Moved by Councilman Baker, seconded by Councilman Hinman. Any discussion on this? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item carries. Next item, please.
Resolution 318, authorizing the town to make budget adjustments designating the use of ARPA funds for projects previously approved by the Ogden Town Board.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Tom, seconded by Councilman Hinman. Any discussion? I'd like to specifically thank Christian and Brian for digging to make sure that all of this is completely accurate.
I sent one over today.
Stop it.
I did.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Thank you. Next item, please.
Resolution 319, authorizing Ogden Town Supervisor Mike Sale to sign a contract agreement with ADH Environmental for the provision of asbestos abatement at the Little Red Building and making budget adjustments associated with this contract.
So moved.
I'll second that.
Moved by Councilman Baker, seconded by Councilman Toms. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next item, please.
Resolution 320, authorizing the town to conclude services offered by Tyler Technologies and releasing earmarked funds for this agreement from such allocation.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Tom, seconded by Councilman Baker. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next item, please.
Resolution 321,
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Gerbino, seconded by Councilman Hinman. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Resolution 322, authorizing the Ogden Police Department to dispose of items no longer needed for public purposes.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Gerbino, seconded by Councilman Hinman. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next item, please.
Resolution 323, authorizing the town of Ogden to make a budget amendment associated with previously received drug enforcement funding from the City of Rochester Police Department.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Gerbino, seconded by Councilman Hinman. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Authorizing Ogden Town Supervisor Mike Sale to sign a contract agreement with GAR Associates LLC for the provision of assessment consulting services for the year 2023.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Councilman Tom, seconded by Councilman Hinman. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next item, please.
Resolution 325, executing a contract agreement with Johnson Controls for the maintenance of fire alarms located at the Pineway Town Park Shop, Owens Lodge, and Boucher Lodge.
So moved.
I'll second that.
Moved by Councilman Baker, seconded by Councilman Toms. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Before we read the next resolution, the water treatment services are for our cooling tower and boiler systems.
Makes sense.
So I will entertain a new motion if anyone would like to read.
I'll move it.
Oh, I'm sorry. We have to read it first.
Resolution 326, executing a contract agreement with Metro Group for the provision of water treatment services at the Ogden Town Hall.
So moved.
I'll second it.
Moved by Councilman Hinman, seconded by Councilman Toms. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item, please.
Resolution 327, authorizing the Ogden Highway Department to expend funds levied and collected for the repair and improvement of highways and received from the state for the repair and improvement of highways.
So moved.
A second.
Moved by Councilman Gerbino, seconded by Councilman Hinman. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item, please.
Resolution 328, authorizing Ogden Town Supervisor Mike Sale to execute a cleaning services contract extension with Mike's Commercial Cleaning, Inc. to cover the period January 1st, 2023 and through December 31st, 2025.
So moved.
I'll second it.
Moved by Councilman Hinman, seconded by Councilman Toms. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next, please.
Resolution 329, appointing Jamie Casera as a full-time permanent office clerk 2 in the Town of Ogden Building Department.
I'll move that.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Hinman, seconded by Councilman Baker. Any discussion on this item? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next, please.
Resolution 330, scheduling a public hearing on the Spencerport Fire District's application for a special use permit for the construction of a fire training facility upon property located at 2588 Union Street.
So moved.
I'll second that.
Moved by Councilman Baker, seconded by Councilman Toms.
If, Mr. Supervisor, if I
Yes.
could, I would suggest that someone move an amendment to this resolution to include the fact that the board would waive the fee normally required to be paid by this applicant for the special use permit. I can't move it.
Amend
I will
your-
move to make that amendment per the suggestion of the town attorney.
I'll second it.
Moved by Councilman Baker, seconded by Councilman Toms. Any discussion?
Dan, is that covers their driveway, do I charging a permit for their driveway and, construction site, that should be the same thing, right, waive that?
You know, I only addressed it here, but yes, I guess,
All permits,
yeah.
correct, thank you.
Do we need
If
to
the board's
re-motion?
okay with that.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think it's a great idea. I mean, it's a practical.
There's
idea.
gonna be
It's
a
good
building
idea.
permit,
Yeah.
there's gonna be a highway permit, and there's a application to the planning board. This application to the town board for the special use permit. There's a number of fees that are associated with the development of this facility at this property.
I look at it this way. The town builds something, or the town does some kind of work, we're not going to pay for a permit. We're not going to pay for any of these extra things because we're the governing body. Same way we would do for the village. I say we do the same for the fire department.
So if, and again, we can word the resolution that it's all permits and fees relating to the development of the property for a fire training facility.
So with the motion and the second, under the guides that's been adjusted here, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries, thank you. Let's see. Next item, please.
Resolution 331, authorizing Ogden Town Supervisor Mike Zale to sign a contract agreement with L2 Carpentry and Construction Management Corp. for the furnishing of a pole barn and construction of the same at Pine Lake Ponds Park.
I'll move it.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Gerbino, seconded by Councilman Hinman. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. I would like to make a motion that we move to work session.
I'll second that.
Second by Councilman Hinman, Councilman Toms, looking right at you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we are adjourned to work session. So that our fabulous people in the building department can feel